Newport property investment, South Wales growth story. Right, let's dive in. Newport. Ever heard someone say, it's just a commuter town? Yeah? Well, forget that. Those days are over. The Newport we're looking at today is changing and fast. If you're in the property game, especially with your eyes on the South Wales scene, you'd be mad to ignore it. So what's really going on down there? Let me tell you something from the ground. A couple of years back, I was working with a client, young guy, first-time investor, had a $150K budget, and didn't want to touch the usual Cardiff or Bristol hotspots, too competitive, he said. We looked at Newport. Back then, the prices were cheeky. Terraced homes under 140K, some even lower if you weren't scared of a bit of work. Fast forward to now, that same property is nudging 200K, and no, I'm not making that up. Why Newport? Well, let's talk about the basics first. The stuff most agents gloss over or oversell. Newport is 12 minutes by train to Cardiff, under 30 to Bristol on a good day. And yes, that M4 corridor is a pain in the butt during rush hour, but that's the trade-off with growing towns. People are moving in, schools are improving. There's a buzz in the local market. Even the coffee shops have stopped serving instant. Praise be. And property-wise, Newport's one of those rare places where rental yields and capital growth actually coexist. Go to London, you get capital growth, sure, but your yields are pants. Go to northern towns, loads of yield, but capital growth's like watching paint dry. Newport, right now, sweet spot. My last BTL deal there netted 6.1% most yield, and the house had gone up by 14% in 18 months. Not bragging, just saying. Let's talk regeneration. Ever walked around the city center lately? Yes, parts of it still feel like 2006 never left. But look again. There's money being poured in, quietly, steadily. The old Chartist Tower's been turned into a 4-star Mercure hotel, a bloody good sign if you ask me. There's more talk about the Newport Knowledge Quarter and the Riverside redevelopment. None of it's flashy, but it's real. And you know what investors should love more than glitter? Potential. One of my clients bought a 2-bed flat near Friars Walk when people were still calling it a failed shopping center. Last month, he rented it out for £900. 5 viewings. 2 offers. All local tenants, no DSS, no nonsense. That's the post-pandemic shift we've been seeing. Remote workers who don't want Cardiff prices, London escapees wanting a foothold somewhere on the up, and yes, Welsh locals who are priced out of their hometowns. Schools and families, don't skip this bit. If you're like me, you probably glazed over the Ofsted ratings early in your career. Big mistake. Families follow schools. Investors should follow families. Newport's secondary schools? Not bad. A few are even pushing outstanding now. And don't underestimate how much that affects long-term lets. Family homes don't churn tenants every 12 months. They stay, they settle, they paint walls and plant petunias. That's gold. One of my properties in Rogerstone is on its 3rd set of tenants in 8 years. And every one of them, family with kids in Basilisk School. Coincidence? I think not. Now a curveball. The valleys, here's where things get interesting. Investors are now overflowing into Qumbran, Pontypool, even Risca. Why? Because Newport's getting pricey. And people are cottoning on to the fact that 110K still buys you a rental property in places like Abercorn. I had a friend laugh when I told him I was buying there last year. Now he's begging me for a contact. So should you invest? Let's not sugarcoat it. The UK market in 2025 is rocky. Interest rates are messing with everyone's spreadsheets. But people still need homes. Newport's population is growing. The rental demand is relentless. And most importantly, it's still got room to grow. Unlike Cardiff, which is hitting its ceiling, or Swansea, which still hasn't shaken off its hangover from the 2010s. Oh, and here's a juicy stat. Last quarter, Newport had one of the highest year-on-year price growths in Wales. Beat Cardiff, beat Swansea, even beat some of the Midlands hotspots. Something's brewing, and it ain't just the coffee. One last story. Last winter, I helped a retired couple from Gloucester buy their first BTL in Newport. Not a fancy place, just a modest 3-bed semi near Maesglass. Took some updating, but guess what? They had tenants lined up before the carpets were fitted. Now they're looking for a second, and they're telling their friends. So you do the math. If people outside the area are investing, locals are staying, and prices are rising. Newport's not just up and coming anymore. It's happening. Get in while you still can.